Okay, so for this question for part B, it is not a nice question. The first thing then we deal with is step by step. So the first step is we have this n to r equals, r equals 5 to n of 3r minus 2 squared. You're going to use your result from above, but remember that this time we're starting from r equals 5. So you're going to have r equals 5n minus which is going to be essentially a half n. Let me just go with this. Let me put it. So it's going to be n r equals 5. We substitute 3 minus r2 squared result in here as before, but because we are starting from 5, we have to subtract away the result from 4r equals 1 of 3r minus 2 squared. And therefore, this becomes sum from r equals 5 to n of a half n 6n squared minus 3n minus 1. Subtracting, here is going to be a half. N in this case is 4, so we just do a half times 4. 6 times 4 squared minus 3 times 4 minus 1. Oh, we're very slow, sorry. Minus 1. And that gives us our first result. And then the next bit is the hardest part, is we're going to deal with our 103 from 28, 1 to 28 r cos r pi over 2. Now here, this is where I don't think there's an easier way, apart from just subbing in the numbers from 1 to 20. So if we just practice this one, so first of all, if we do r is equal to 1, then we get 1 cos pi over 2. Here you will get the result of, remember to keep your calculator in radians, so cos pi over 2 is equal to 0. So that's equal to 0, and then you continue on, so r equals 2. In this case we've got 2 cos 2 pi over 2, so that's going to be minus 2. And then r equals 3 is going to be 3 cos 3 pi over 2, and in this case you're going to get 0. Now this is 0 because if you look at a cos graph, and it starts from here, goes down, goes up. So here at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2, we are at y equals 0. So every term that is an odd number, an odd r, will essentially go to 0. So essentially all you really need to do here is on the calculator is just say, well, it's add up the next term. So r equals 4 is going to be 4 cos bracket 4 pi over 2, and that gives you, that's equal to 4. 5 we know is 0, r equals 6 is equal to 6 cos 6 pi over 2, which is minus 6. So again, you started to see a pattern, plus 4 minus 6, and this will continue onward. So plus 8 minus 10 plus 12 minus 14 plus 16 minus 18, all the way through, so plus 20 minus 22 plus 24 minus 26 plus 28. Plug that into the calculator, you will get an answer of 14 as a final answer. I don't know if there's a faster way of doing this. This is the way that I would have done it. So that is how you would do that bit, and then the rest of it is just adding it, putting it together. So here we have we're going to have so it's going to be a half n 6n squared minus 3n minus 1 minus a half times 4 times 6 times 4 squared minus 3 times 4 minus 1, and then we're going to have plus, because then we've got our plus 103 28 1 to 28 r cos r pi over 2, so that's going to be 103 times 14, which is equal to 3n cubed. from here, if we expand everything out, so again, you just plugging it into the calculator, etc., we get 3n cubed minus 3 over 2n squared minus a half n minus 166 plus 103 times 14. Let's see, and that's equal to 3n cubed. We move the 3n cubed to the other side, they cancel out, and then we can multiply everything by 2, and essentially what happens if you do the algebra that you need, you end up with the answer, it's just 3n squared plus n minus 2552, which is equal to 0, and then you would plug this, we probably plug this into your calculator, you could use a quadratic formula to get n is equal to 29, and that gives you your result.